Good evening, folks, and welcome to yet another episode of DinamoTV. Absolute pleasure to be with you here for, this is, I think, now on episode 10 this year. 48 episodes in total, and already in 2025, we've got to 10 episodes. Incredible. My name's Tonchi Prusats, and I'm your host for tonight, as I am every week, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight because we've got a bumper show tonight lined up for you, folks. We've got 3 guests on tonight. It's a huge show, and the first guest tonight that we'll be catching up with is the goal scorer of Dinamo's opening goal in that fantastic 3-0 win on the weekend against Port Melbourne Sharks. We're talking about Josh Gulevsky. He's scored 2 goals in the last 2 games, and that a couple of weeks ago against Oakley was a ripper goal. And, he scored a fantastic goal against Port Melbourne Sharks from the penalty spot on the weekend. We'll catch up with him and talk about all the latest ahead of Sunday's big Croatian derby against the Melbourne Knights at Tomset Stadium, or Knight Stadium as it was once upon a time known. We'll also be speaking to a member of the organising committee of the 50th anniversary gala, and Rosie Marmich is responsible for collecting or coordinating all the memorabilia. And yes, last Sunday, the club held a memorabilia appeal at the Churchill Reserve Club Rooms. We're going to see how that all went. Now, speaking of the gala tonight, yes, the man who is a legend around Churchill Reserve, and he's one half of the MC duo for the actual night. We're talking about Anthony Smolich, of course, and he'll be joining us a little bit later on in the show to talk about the gala night. Might even let us in on what he's got planned. Although I'm probably going to expect that we'll get a last-minute surprise with regards to that. But he'll also talk about a very, very famous incident. Well, it's becoming famous at last Sunday's game, the Hand of God. And we'll find out all about what transpired behind the Hand of God incident at Churchill Reserve. Folks, we've got a huge show, as I mentioned at the top of the program, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into it. Here's a couple of messages from our major sponsor, the I&D Group, and straight after that, we're going to launch into the news desk. Folks, don't go away.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials, along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and let's get straight into it. And the match highlights from Sunday's NPL Victoria Round 7 clash at Churchill Reserve between Dinamo and Port Melbourne.
Really a great contest between two sides. I think Dinamo will come in here the more confident of the two, to be honest, and why wouldn't they? Really coming off a big win against Oakley the week before. Over 11,000 days since they had defeated Oakley. They can come in here confident. Port Melbourne looking to get their season really on track and start to avoid being in that relegation battle. We're underway. Summerskill getting the ball underway. Dinamo attacking to the right of your screen, so both sides staying as they are.
He can hit them from distance. He's much closer this time. And Nathan Dibb is just being told to get away from behind the goals while this penalty is taken. So he'll just have to head out behind where the assistant is standing at the intersection of the penalty area and the goal line. Golevsky with a chance on the stroke of half-time to put St Albans ahead. And he makes no mistake. Josh Golevsky finds the back of the net from 12 yards out, and St Albans take the lead.
Easy as you like, straight up the middle. Golevsky on form, and when you are on form, you have that. John Markovsky and Cam Watson to go through. Again, like they've so often been doing, Dinamo just cleaning up across their back half. Peters there looking forward for Div in there, but Karmas under a lot of pressure throughout this afternoon, but been brilliant when called upon. Turnover now. Divin getting on the end of the day, takes it on. It's a goal! To the bottom left, Josh Divin. Much to the delight of the Dinamo crowd, the Dinamo fan base. The turnover just killing Port Melbourne. Getting on the end of that was... Can we play you every week is the call from the crowd. They're enjoying every bit of a sunny afternoon out here at Churchill Reserve. Looks like Burns to take this. Won the penalty, now he'll look to slot it home for a third, Daniel.
He'll be the third different penalty taker of the afternoon. Romic has saved one of the two so far. And Burns has a chance to make this three. He steps up and he puts it away. And it is a third goal for St Albans. And the 3 points are staying at Churchill Reserve today.
That indeed they are. Sums up a brilliant afternoon here for the home side. This afternoon, hasn't he? Alessandratos here too. Try and sort of bring this one back. Trying to still take something from this game. Laban persisting and persisting. And that cross not quite there.
And there it is, the final whistle. Fair bit of time added in that second half. But that is the end of it.
A great win there by Dinamo on the weekend. And it's exactly what we needed against the bottom side, 3-0 win. That concluded round 7. And as a result of that, we now move to just 1 point outside of the top 6. We're in a 7th position there with 10 points, just 1 point behind Hume City and the Preston Lions as well, who are both on 11 points. Congratulations to our captain. I think it's 3 times now that he's featured in the NPL Victoria Team of the Week. Well done to Gudagic, Michael Gudagic, doing absolutely fantastically well. And there it is. This weekend, folks, all roads lead to Summer Street, or Tom Set Stadium as it is known now, for the vital Round 8 clash, the Croatian Derby, and it all gets underway this Sunday at 3 p.m. It's going to be an absolute fantastic match, a big game for both teams, a must-win game for both sides. Obviously, Knights not doing so well at the start of the season. They'll be desperate to win on the home track, but we need that win. We need that win to keep pace with the top 6, and certainly it has been one of our best starts to the season in many years. Okay, moving along to the under-23s and the 19s, as well as our juniors. On the weekend, the seniors... goodness me, that's, I think, a wrong graphic there. It should be against, not Melbourne Knights, that's this weekend, or unless our graphics department is predicting something that we're not aware of. Wish they could predict my Tadslido numbers. But the seniors defeated Port Melbourne 3-0. The under-23s lost 1-0. And then the 19s on Monday night defeated the Port Melbourne Sharks 2-0. Unfortunately, it was not a good weekend for our junior boys NPL teams. It was a clean sweep of losses against sister club North Geelong Warriors down at Alco Park. Speaking of the 23s and the 19s. So, once again, our graphic department has let things go. That on the left is our 23s. That on our right is the under-19s. So the under-19s doing very well. They're in 5th spot. The under-23s, they're at the moment in 9th position. Obviously, we talked about this extensively both last week with our guest Stjepan Gal. If you haven't already, make sure you register for our 5-day Dinamo Zagreb camp, which is going to be an absolute beauty. The Dinamo Zagreb Football Academy is coming to Melbourne, and they are going to be holding a 5-day training camp led by 5 elite Dinamo Academy coaches, including former Melbourne Victory goalkeeper and current Dinamo Zagreb under-19 coach Ivan Kelava. And that's going to be held between the 7th and the 11th of July this year. All the details there are on your screen. Well done to all of our teams who participated in the Magic Cup pre-season Melbourne Championship over the last fortnight. Congratulations especially to our under-11 boys who took out the championship, and also our under-8 boys who were runners-up in their category. And there's all the teams that took part in that pre-season tournament. Well done to all of the players. Well done to the coaches, and indeed to all the parents as well, who did a fantastic job taking the kids out to all to the venues, the pre-season venues. Frankie Ivkovic in the comments says, big shout out to all the Dinamo girls playing in Melton Cup this weekend, especially my under-9 girls playing in their first final. Go girls. Good luck and all the very best to all of our Dinamoke who are playing in the Melton Cup this week. Yep. The 50th Gala Ball, we've talked about it briefly, and there are all the details that you need. Pencil in, folks, Saturday the 12th of July at the Croatian Catholic Centre in Sunshine. It is going to be the night of nights. Major Minor will be providing the entertainment with special guest Ivan Novosel from the Zaprešić boys, as well as the 5 Dinamo Football Academy coaches who will be in attendance. Hosted by Marijana Rudan, very well-known Australian-Croatian MC, as well as our very own Ante Smolic. And have I mentioned, folks, Smolic will be joining us a little bit later on in the show to talk about the 50th anniversary gala night, as well as many, many other things. The $120 per person ticket includes a 3-course meal. It is a formal attire and tables of 10 being booked. For bookings, contact Lucy there on 0435 680 273 and Natalie 0402 380 862. Fantastic stuff, that. And we look forward to it being an absolute night of nights, that is for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. All right, folks, we're going to have a bit of a commercial break now. When we do return, we will be speaking to our first guest for tonight, and it looks like it will be. We're hoping to get Josh Gulevsky, but he's not yet ready, not yet in the green room. If he hasn't turned up, we will be speaking to Rosie Marmich, who is one of the members of the organising committee, the Gala 50th Gala organising committee, and she's also coordinating the memorabilia appeal. Folks, don't go away. You're watching DinamoTV. Welcome back to DinamoTV, and it's time now for our next guest, and this is going to be a good one. We love talking about the gala coming up, the 50th anniversary, and so much is going ahead with regard to it, and so many people working behind the scenes. Now, last Sunday, Dinamo had a memorabilia appeal, and it was a call to arms for people to bring all of their old photographs, jerseys, any merchandise they may have had, etc., along to the club. And the very, very valuable, hard-working members of the merchandise memorabilia committee, they were able to take photographs to find out how it all went, and what's the next step with regards to our merchandise or memorabilia appeal. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome to DinamoTV Rosie Marmich. Rosie, how are you going?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yes, going really well, thank you.
Yeah, on the weekend we had the memorabilia appeal. How did it all go?
Yeah, look, I think for our first collections of items, it was a success. We had 2 professional photographers, being Steve Starek, who was and has been deeply involved in our club for many years, and Anna Mioch, who is also part of our club today. Both Anna and Steve set up designated areas where they professionally photographed people's pictures, photos, old jerseys and memorabilia on the spot. So the process was seamless, ensuring everything was done efficiently and in front of the person who actually provided the items.
Yeah.
So I think it went well.
So let's get this clear. Like you took photos of the event, so you didn't actually have to borrow the pieces of item. And I know they're very valuable and hold a sentimental value, but ultimately you didn't even need to borrow it. You just took the photo of it.
No, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
So yeah, we don't keep anything. You bring your items to us. We take the necessary details, and our photographers capture a professional shot, and then we hand everything right back to you on the spot.
Oh, how good is that? No, that's excellent. Oh, the wonders of modern technology. And let's go through some of the memorabilia items that you collected. You've sent a couple of slides. Let's go through these and tell us the stories behind some of these. There's the first one.
Yeah, sure. So we've got the jacket, yours or Jorvich brought that in, and that's apparently what the players wore to the games before the game. So we're not sure what year that was in. And the clock was brought in by Zdenko Brklicic. So that's just something he had and brought in. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're moving along, and there's a heap of old photographs there. This is where the fun begins, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the St Albans Dinamo presentation night 1986, and we've got Mr. Gilzal up the top there, the president at the time, and also some photos on the right there of when they were building the actual club rooms at Churchill Reserve.
Yeah, and look, some great photos. And I'm sure people out there have got some absolute perler photographs from yesteryear. I mean, that club goes all the way back to the mid-1970s, and what an era that was growing up, and certainly holds a lot of sentimental memories for a lot of people. And this is precisely what we want, to get as many of these type of photos as possible. Moving along, some more photographs and another funky-looking tracksuit top there.
Yeah, that was provided to us by Joe Hughes, Chewy. And we've also got some photos on the right there from, it looks like it was a Zabava of some sort at Dinamo.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that was in.
Certainly the people look like they were a lot better dressed back in those days than they are today at Zabava.
Absolutely.
Mishmash of fashions these days, but I'm sure everyone is going to be looking 100% when it's our 50th Gala Ball in July. But moving along, look, this man needs no introduction.
Mr. Smolik, our very own.
Yeah,
he's going to MC that event.
Yeah, he's coming up straight after you, Rosie. He'll be on the show very shortly. He is the MC at the Gala Ball. Speaking of the Gala Ball, but what's the significance of this T-shirt?
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Mr. Smolik. He brought it along, and then I asked him to jump in and take the photo. And surprisingly, he was a little bit nervous and embarrassed taking it. But a good shot, Mr. Smolik.
Well, we'll have to ask him because, it says 1954 to 2004. So obviously 50 years. St Albans Saints. So that's quite an interesting thing. And, I know we're celebrating 1975 to 2025, but the significance of 1954, if anyone knows, pop it in the comments section. We'd love to know. And certainly last but not least, we've got a photo of some very lovely ladies there. Tell us about this snap.
Yes, these beautiful ladies dedicated their time at the club in the early years, in the kitchen every game. They were at every Zabava dance, and also would even wash the players' jerseys after each game. So they were amazing. You might recognise a few of them there.
Yeah, if you can recognise anyone there, pop it in the comments section. There's a couple that I can tell, certainly just looking at them. That's a great photo and just really captures the essence of what it was like yesteryear. Now, Rosie, how are these photos and other memorabilia items, how are they going to be used? Will they be used in the book or the history book, or how are they being planned?
Yeah, good question. Look, it's going to be a huge task. Steve Static has actually provided us with over 130,000 photos that he has, that he has taken since 2001. That's when he started saving them. Obviously, we won't be able to include everything in the book. Only a carefully selected few that best represent and tell the story of the club over the years will make it into the book. However, we're preparing a slideshow that will run throughout the gala night, which is being held on, as we discussed, Saturday the 12th of July at the Croatian Catholic Centre in West Sunshine. So many of these photos will be featuring in the background during the night. Tickets are on sale for the gala now, so don't forget to secure your table, guys. It's going to be a huge event.
Yeah, no, absolutely will be a massive event. Well, while we're talking about that, there's the slide there. So Major Minor going to be there. Special guest Ivan Novosel from the Zaprešić boys, and also we're going to have Ivan Kelava, the Dinamo Zagreb under-19s coach, as well as 4 other coaches who will be down here for the Dinamo Zagreb youth camp. Tickets are $120 per person, which is a bargain. You'll get a 3-course meal included in that. Plus, obviously, it is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event because you don't celebrate your 50th anniversary often. For ticket bookings, please contact Lucy 0435 680 273 or give Natalie a buzz on 0402 380 862. And of course, that's going to be at the Sunshine Catholic Centre, and it is going to be massive. And look, the venue holds 1,200, 1,300 squeezed in like sardines. But
we're hoping not that many. Otherwise, it would, But we're hoping for about 700, 800, as many as we can get.
Yeah. It'd be, 1,200. You'll be just crammed up. Be people on the dance floor and everywhere. Probably in this day and age of OHS, you probably don't want that. That's for sure. Now, are you still on the lookout for more? You mentioned 130,000 plus photographs that just Steve Static alone has provided. Does that mean you don't need any more memorabilia items, or is that
No, we're definitely still on the lookout for some more items and would love additional contributions. We'll be hosting another Bring Your Memorabilia Items Day on Sunday, the 18th of May, between 12 and 3 at our home ground when Dinamo plays Dandy. So you can also email us any scanned images to St. Albans saints@gmail.com. However, we highly encourage people to come to the club on that day so we can capture the professional shots of the memorabilia. That would be great.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. If they are going to email it through, is there certain requirements as far as resolution, the format, etc.?
No, not at all. You'd be surprised at how well some of the older photos have actually turned out. Both Steve and Anna are incredible photographers, and they've done an amazing job capturing the details of each item. So, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. If you are in doubt and you're not really sure how good if you've got a scanner or you're going to take a photo and then send that scan through, come to the club. And Steve and Anna will be able to take really good photos. And look, just judging by some of those pics as we showed earlier today, they put it on a black screen, and look, they come up like an absolute picture. They actually come up a fantastic treat. Yeah. So don't worry that your photographs are not good quality. And in fact, that's what probably adds to the authenticity, doesn't it, Rosie? Creased edges or a little bit of tear here. Yeah. Now, finally,
we've had people take the pictures.
What's that? Sorry,
we've had people take off the pictures off their wall and bring them in.
Oh, that's brilliant! That is actually fantastic. Look, finally, question: when is the book expected to be completed and available to the public? I assume by the gala day, but is it expected to be done earlier than that?
No, actually, we're aiming to launch the book in late November this year. Yeah, it's a lengthy process, and we
Yeah.
want to make sure it truly captures the amazing story of how Dinamo began and how it has progressed throughout the years. So we don't think we wouldn't be able to finish it in time for the gala, and we want to perhaps capture some photos and information about the gala in the book as well, as it's the 50 years. So that's another reason.
I'm glad you say that, because the last thing you'd want is this process to be rushed, because at the end of the day, this is probably what's going to be staying for generations to come. And you certainly want it to be a quality product. So I'm really glad to hear that, Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. Real pleasure. We're going to have to get you on a little bit closer towards the gala night as well. But what a massive job it is. And if anyone can even fathom the I guess the complexities involved in sorting out through 130,000 photos plus, just ask Rosie Marmich about that, hey?
Thanks for having me, Tonchi.
Good on you. Okay, thank you very much. Rosie Marmich, she's on board with the committee, the organising committee of the 50th anniversary gala, and she's responsible for collating and collecting all of the memorabilia items. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, we'll be speaking to Anthony Smallage, who is the MC of the gala night. He'll be coming up after this very, very short break, folks. Don't go away. You are watching DinamoTV.
He can hit them from distance. He's much closer this time. And Nathan Dibb just being told to get away from behind the goals while this penalty is taken. So he'll just have to head out behind where the assistant's standing at the intersection of the penalty area and the goal line. Golevsky with a chance on the stroke of half-time to put St Albans ahead. And he makes no mistake. Josh Golevsky finds the back of the net from 12 yards out, and St Albans take the lead.
Easy as you like, straight up the middle. Golevsky on form, and when you are on form, you have that.
And there we have it. That was the opening goal from last Sunday. Josh Golevsky scoring that goal. Now, we've got a little bit of technical issues. We're unable to get the video of Josh, but Josh joins us on the line and we can hear his voice. Josh, good evening and welcome to TV.
Afternoon, happy to be here,
mate. Well, congratulations, great goal that to get the ball started. But it's a good win. Look, it was the bottom side, but it's always a difficult game coming up against the teams that you're expected to win. But on Sunday, it was a very, very impressive performance by the lads.
Yes, definitely. I think you definitely summed it up, and I think that's what Cam and Billy were saying all week. I think, you know, we came up against Oakley the week before and we were the underdogs, so there was no expectations. But going into Port Melbourne, we were the side probably expected to win. So there's probably a lot more pressure on us than to perform, but we came away with the 3 points, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's been a good start, probably one of the best starts in recent years, without a shadow of a doubt. Cam seems to be doing wonders in the dressing room and his coaching staff. But obviously, look at where it's a new look team, but the boys seem to have really, really gelled, really molded together as a unit.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first few weeks, I think you saw the potential, and I think it wasn't just quite clicking yet. But I think obviously getting that first win was always going to be crucial in terms of confidence. And I think from that victory against South, since then, I think it's just clicked into gear, and I think the performances have showed that. We were unfortunate against Avondale. We put in a good 60 minutes. And then obviously the message was against Oakley to make that a full 90 so we could come away with the win, and we did. And then now we've just got to go on a good run and, keep picking up as many points as possible.
Yeah, and look, it starts, I guess, with this the big Croatian derby on the weekend. Yes, we're sister clubs, and yes, they're near neighbours, but geez, we're big rivals as well. And have the lads in the dressing room been telling you all about how important this game is to the club and to the supporters?
Oh, most definitely. Obviously, there's a few Croatian boys in the change room, and they know more what it means more than most. And obviously, me being a new lad coming into the change room, I obviously don't quite understand it as much. But I'm sure once I get there on Sunday, it'll probably sink in, and it'll be a realization of what needs to be done.
Yeah, now talking about yourself, you've been in fine form, scoring 3 goals in the last 4 games. It started against South Melbourne. It was a bit of a clean one against Avondale, nothing there. But then Oakley, and what a goal that one was, and against Port Melbourne. You must be pretty happy with your own form.
Yeah, most definitely. I think, again, that's credit to the coaches for having belief in me and giving me the time to settle in. And then my teammates, obviously being a new lad, they've welcomed me in very well. And then obviously it was just a matter of getting that chemistry to click. And obviously in the last few weeks, it's worked and I've been on the score sheet. But again, the most important thing has been we've been picking up 3 points. So as long as we keep doing that, and if I chip in with a goal here and there, I'm happy to contribute.
Yeah, no, that's the way. It's going to be a huge game this coming Sunday. Expecting a big crowd, no doubt. We're looking forward to this, and there's all the details there on the screen. Melbourne Knights playing host to our St Albans Dinamo, kicking off at 3 p.m. Should be a good game. Before we let you go, mate, tell us a little bit about your footballing story. Where did you start playing juniors, and what are some of the clubs that you've been playing at before you came here at Dinamo?
Oh, okay, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm actually from Canberra, so I came up through the ranks. My junior club was called Bell North, and then from there I've played for numerous clubs. I've played for Canberra Croatia, Canberra Olympic, Kuma, who's now known as Tigers FC.
Yep.
Before I moved to Hume 2 years ago in the mid-season transfer window, when I was actually, funnily enough, picked up by Cam and Billy, who were the coaches at the time. And now I'm at St Albans.
Well, we love having you at Churchill Reserve, and especially when you're scoring all those goals, mate. Keep them coming week in, week out, and we'll be even more happier, that's for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good on you. That's Josh Golevsky joining us on DinamoTV. Folks, we're going to take a very, very, very quick break. When we return, we're going to try and get Anthony Smallich on the line. We seem to be having all sorts of problems with our visuals tonight. They seem to be not working the way we'd like them to work, but we'll try and get them happening very, very shortly. Don't go away, folks.
All part of the fun and games here at Churchill Reserve. Chance forming here for Roman storming off the line here. Far side. There's going to be a penalty. Lucas Burns caught up with Luka Romic. Romic first to the ball, but he took out Burns in the process, and
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and unfortunately, as we said, we're having all sorts of video problems. But that was a little bit of an excerpt where the penalty was given, awarded to Dinamo. But you could hear the hand of God happening in the background, and there's a great story to be told about that. We're trying to get Anthony Smallich on the line, but as I said, we're having a little bit of difficulties trying to get him. We might try and get him on the phone. We're trying. Anthony's on the line. He joins us on the line. How are you, mate?
I'm going great, Tonchi. How are you, buddy?
Good, mate. For whatever reason, we just can't get a visual of you. They've often said that you've got a face for radio, but now it seems to have been proven the case.
Mate, I was told that yesterday, and I was told that again tonight at training as well, mate. I was at the MPL training tonight out at Keilor. So, it's probably lucky for your viewers that they're only getting the dulcet tones.
Well, we've actually put up a photo of you on the screen, and it's with the St. Albans Saints 1954 to 2004 T-shirt. Before we move on to the Hand of God incident, tell us about this T-shirt, the significance of this T-shirt, which was part of the memorabilia appeal.
Yeah, so I brought the T-shirt in on Sunday, and you had Amir taking the photos, and Rosie Mumich, who we just heard earlier as well, organising everything, and Steve Static happened to be there, so illustrious photographer of Dinamo of many, many years. And he was asked, why 1954? So we were having a bit of a chuckle during the week about the T-shirt, particularly with Mario Jutrisha saying, 50 years was celebrated in 2024. Why 2004? Why now? And that was apparently the year that St. Albans as a club, so the previous incarnation of St. Albans, prior to the Dinamo association with that particular club. So they were apparently created in 1954, and then Dinamo coming along in 1975, and then adding the St. Albans Dinamo part to it. So there is a little bit of a backstory, but Dinamo as such is 75 and onwards.
Well, there you go. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely makes a lot of sense. Now, we're going to talk about the gala ball. You've been appointed one of the two MCs along with Mariana Rudan for the big night in July. Mate, you've had the pleasure of MCing at many festive occasion in the Croatian community over the years. Are you looking forward to this 50th gala ball, and what makes it, I guess, different to a lot of the other gigs that you've had?
I am very much looking forward to it. I was quite pleased to hear that Mariana was hopefully going to be the main MC of the evening, and me just sort of accompanying her along for the ride. She's an absolute professional. I'm sure that a lot of people that have been to previous tournaments where she's MC'd various galas, etc., have gathered around, had photos with her, and have seen that she's just an absolute, toxic masculine terms, an absolute gentleman of a lady. So, glad to have her on board to keep the ship steady, because she's an absolutely true professional. But again, galas very much different to your local sort of mum and dad Zaba there. A lot more pressure. It will be quite a formal event, 600, 700, 800 people attending. A lot of it's 50 years in the making, so you really need to make that little bit of time that you do have in between formalities count. So, a little bit of nerves. I am working on a song, so whether people are pleased to hear that or not, I'm not too sure, but I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully Mariana keeps me on board. But, the speaking to Rosie earlier prior to the show this evening, and Natalie Raspudic and Stella Kivicic and everyone else that's been involved behind the scenes, some of the things that will be taking place on the night are quite new, innovative for our community, because we're used to our usual portafio of cevape and a couple of drinks. This is very much going to be a formal event. There'll be drinks on arrival, 3-course meal. There will be an area there where there will be memorabilia displayed from years gone by. Yeah. There will be what is known as a wine wall, where there will be, I'm not too sure exactly, but hundreds of bottles of wine where you pay a certain amount, so a minimal amount, whatever it might be, $20, $30. Yep. And then you pick a bottle out of this rack, which will all be concealed. and you may pull out a $20 bottle of wine, you may pull out a $200 bottle of wine. So, again, something quite innovative. There'll be obviously auction items, Dinamo Zagreb tops, from what I understand, Luka Modric print, Prshuts as usual.
Yep.
And I enjoy those auctions the most where, we always try and top the previous Zabva, see how many people will bid and how much we can actually earn on a particular Prshut, but any range of things will be taking place. There's also, as Rosie, I believe, mentioned, there's a book being put together, and there will be a launch in November. And we are still looking for, if there's anyone out there that wants to sponsor or potentially provide some prizes for a raffle auction, etc., please reach out to Stella Krivicic. She's looking after all of that. But, yeah, it's going to be massive. It's probably going to be the biggest social event of the year, I think, in our community. So, 50 years of Dinamo, from humble beginnings into, if you were there on the weekend, the festivities that took place and the joviality, I suppose, of Dinamo when they're on a good run is really something to behold. So the gala will be no different to that.
Well, on the screen, we've got all the information regarding the gala night and the phone numbers to contact for tickets. Contact Lucy and contact Natalie because those tickets are sure to get snapped up very quickly. But you did mention, Small, on the weekend, the festivities. Now, you were in the thick of it, or you were, let's say, privy to a lot of it. The Hand of God rears its head at Churchill Reserve. And we heard it on the snippet there and it was even acknowledged by the commentators. But tell us a story behind the famous or infamous, or however you want to call it, the memorable Hand of God incident from last Sunday.
Okay, so depending on who's listening, I think maybe the Vukovar boys, if they're finished training and they're sitting around the esky in the car park there, they may have tuned in. But it was all started off, there was a lovely lady, I believe she was a Port Melbourne supporter, may have had her grandson or a close relative playing on the wing there as a fullback for Port Melbourne, and was giving him all the encouragement in the world that Yabaka usually does, or Yaya, or whatever she was. And one Martin Rasputic was obviously having a bit of a go at this number 2, and she didn't take kindly to it and made her feelings known. Now, not too long after that, Velichastny Tormal from Sunshine happened to go and stand next to the lovely lady and had a bit of a chat with her. And as he stood next to her, a stray ball was coming straight towards her. And she was in a walker, so she wasn't particularly mobile and probably wasn't agile enough to swat the ball away herself. And Velichastny Tormal put his arm up and slapped the ball away to massive cheers from the crowd. And then one Matty Sakic, of all people there amongst the crowd, started off with the Hand of God chant. So Velichastny Tormal obviously was in had his habit, is that what it's called, the little collar on, so it was well known to those in attendance that he was a Roman Catholic priest, and slapped the ball away. The Hand of God chant went up. Calls were made that he should change his name to Velichastny Diego, and all sorts of frivolity took place. Even the commentators got in on it, and they saw what was going on. And it was, just a sight to behold. It was fantastic. Friendly relations between, obviously, the Port supporters, Dinamo supporters. Bit of banter, as was always. But playing on pitch 3, it's a lot different to the main ground, where you usually have the usual suspects up on the hill and another group there in front of the main doors of the social club. But everyone was gathered under the marquee there, and it was absolutely good fun. So really looking forward to the game. The derby on Sunday should be a really good one. Hopefully people get out in numbers there to support both clubs. And again, in the best of spirits, bit of banter from both sides, and hopefully the best team wins on the day.
Yeah, no, that'd be absolutely fantastic, mate. Thank you for shedding some light on the Hand of God incident. And I guess there was a bit of divine intervention later, because immediately after that, it was a case of a penalty awarded to Dinamo. And ako neće svome koče kome, it was Luka Romic, the Port Melbourne Sharks goalkeeper, that brought one of our players down. So in the end, it was a penalty that was converted. So Dinamo running out 3-0 winners. Ante, thank you so much for joining us, albeit under unusual circumstances, not visually, but at least in an audio capacity on DinamoTV.
No problem. Next time, I set my camera up and everything down here in my little Conover man cave. I had everything all sorted, but we'll get you next time, mate. You'll see all my paraphernalia hanging up in the background next time.
That we will. All right, Ante, take care. Take care. Thank you for joining us on DinamoTV.
All the best. See you all Sunday.
That was Anthony Smallidge, one of the two MCs who for the 50th Gala Ball. Folks, thank you for joining us on DinamoTV tonight. Apologies we weren't able to get Josh Gulevsky and Anthony Smallich. At least we weren't able to see their faces. I'm sure everyone would have loved to have seen Josh. Not so much sure about Smallich, as we said, he's got a face for radio, hey? On that note, thank you so much for joining us once again. Be sure to join us next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. for episode 50, the Jubilee episode of DinamoTV. Until next week, good night, laku noć.